Flyer Athletic Boosters is a nonprofit organization of parents, faculty, and community members that are dedicated to supporting quality youth athletic programs. Since 2004, FAB has proudly donated more than $500,000 to various youth and varsity programs. Help us to ensure the continued success of Little Falls youth and varsity athletic programs. Become a FAB member today. For more information, go to our website, flyerathleticboosters.com. Go Flyers!
Welcome, swim fans, to Little Falls Community Middle School Pool. I'm Mark Deal, and tonight here on Flyer Media Productions, we are pleased to bring you the swim meet between the Little Falls Flyers and the St. Cloud Apollo Eagles. We're ready to get started here with the national anthem, and I'd like to thank Caden Blaisdell for being my cameraman tonight, and we will be back with you in just a moment. All right, we've just wrapped up the national anthem here. First of all, we'd like to apologize to those of you who are watching this live tonight. We've run into some technical difficulties, but we will be streaming this out to you later this evening. So you will be able to watch it on demand on a tape delay basis. Also, we'd like to thank our broadcast sponsors, FAB, for their generous support of Flyer Athletics and Flyer Media Productions. Hopefully you got a chance to see the promo video when we got to go on. All right, tonight Little Falls will be swimming in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Apollo will be swimming in lanes 2, 4, and 6. So 1, 3, and 5, lane 1 will be at the top of your screen. Lane 1 will be on the top of your screen. Lane 6 will be at the bottom. All right. First up tonight is the girls varsity medley relay, 200 yards. Swimming in lane 1 for Little Falls will be Abby Horton, Caitlin Barnes, Maya St. George, and Emily Oberton. In lane 2 for Little Falls, Alicia Holtz, CC Moe, Liz Rudolph, and Stella Moe. In lane 3 for Apollo is Susanna Malminger, Josie Doble-Medek, Cedar Scott Lumbar, and Shyla Gordon. For Little Falls in lane 4, Claire Anderson, Sabina Moe, Molly Petrowitz, and Barrett Gustafson. And in lane 6 for Little Falls is Isabel Larson, Cora Kleber, Skylar Okerman, and Ellie Larson. All right, we are on to the third leg of this race. Right now, Little Falls out in front in lane 3. Into the water right now, that is Liz Rudolph. Going into the water up in lane 1 for Little Falls, Maya St. George. And in lane 6, Skylar Okerman. Into the pool now for the Flyers in lane 3. Excuse me, in lane 4, that's Barrett Gustafson. I'm sorry, that was Barrett Gustafson in lane 3 for the Flyers. Our lineup sheet here is a little bit mixed up tonight based on the lane lines that they are using. So I need to take back what I said. Lane 1 is actually at the bottom of the pool tonight. Lane 6 will be at the top. And the Eagles touch in. Flyers take the top 4 spots in that heat. They'll score the top 3. All right, on to the girls' JV 200-yard freestyle. For Little Falls, in lanes 2, it's Georgia Lapos. Lane 4, Katie Rudolph. And lane 6, Lily Cherhart. On our lineup sheet in the JV race, there are no Apollo swimmers reported. The Flyers just competed, in the border battle up in Fargo at the Hubert Aquatic Center over the weekend. They are looking to achieve their first meet win of the season tonight. That is their team goal for the evening. All right, into the pool in this JV race, 200-yard freestyle. Again, in lane 2, Georgia Lapos. Lane 4, Katie Rudolph. Lane 6, Lily Cherhart. The Flyers graduated a number of talented seniors last year that they'll have to replace this year. Jada Alholm, and swimming for St. Ben's, she was a senior last year. Ella Rouse swimming at St. Cloud State. A couple of big shoes to fill, along with Kendra Kuchar and the other Flyer seniors. As they come to the 100, this is Liz Rudolph in lane 4 in the lead. as they come to touch in for the 6th length of their 8-length race. Still Liz Rudolph in the lead for the Flyers, followed by Lily Cheerhart up in lane 6 and Georgia Lapos in lane 2. Again, we apologize for having to bring this to you on tape delay. We've experienced a number of technical difficulties tonight, and we're thankful that we can get you the meet at least on a tape delay basis. All right, looks like Liz Rudolph here will come to touch in this JV race. If you're not familiar with swimming, we will swim a JV race and then a varsity race right after that. So this is the JV race, 3 Little Falls entrants. And for Liz Rudolph, she touched in with a time of 2:43.42. All right, for the varsity race. In lane 1 for the Eagles is Cora Schmidt. Lane 2 for the Flyers, Grace Clute. Lane 3 for the Eagles, Taylor Knadel. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Emma Catlin. Lane 5 for the Eagles, Brooklyn Ryerson. And lane 6 for the Flyers, Abby Nagorski. To get things started here early, out to the early lead in lane 3. That's Taylor Knadel for the Eagles. And it looks like up in lane 6, Abby Nagorski is in 2nd place for the Flyers currently. A tight race it's actually a tight race right now for 2 through 5. Knadel is definitely showing some dominance in this race early on. They're coming now to touch their 6th length of the pool, the 150-yard mark. Still Knadel out front. Up in lane 5 for the Eagles, that is Brooklyn Ryerson. She has moved into 2nd place. 3rd place right now for the Flyers is Emma Catlin, followed closely by Abby Nagorski up in lane 6. Knadel will take this one for the Eagles in lane 3. It's a tight race here, battle, let's see who touches first. And it will be lane 5 for the Eagles. That is Brooklyn Ryerson touching in 2nd, followed very closely there in lane 6 by Abby Nagorski. Excuse me, that was, well, the board's changing on us. All right. Coming in to finish up here for the Eagles in lane 1 is Cora Schmidt. officials are getting together to confer on the final results. All right, up next is the JV 100-yard individual medley. Again, three Little Falls entrants. In lane 2 for the Flyers is Lily Grant. In lane 4 for the Flyers, Skylar Okerman. And in lane 6 for the Flyers, Marley Schill. There are approximately 35 girls on the Little Falls swim team. 30 of them are Little Falls students, and the rest are students from Pillager, Staples, Motley, and Royalton school districts, all competing in the swim and dive program here for the Flyers. As the backstroke comes in, it's Skylar Okerman in the lead for the Flyers in this JV race, followed by up in lane 6, Marley Schill, and in lane 2, Lily Grant. It's not unusual to see the leads change in this race based on the strength of the stroke for each individual swimmer. And we'll see for these three Flyer girls how this race shakes out, as Skylar Okerman was the stronger of the backstrokers, but we'll see who the backstrokers and the breaststrokers. Now we've got the freestyle coming in, and it's Lily Grant who will touch in first, followed by Skylar Okerman, and then Marley Schill up in lane 6. All right. For the varsity, it's a 200 IM, as they will go down and back with each stroke. And for the Flyers in lane 2, it's Ellie Larson. In lane 3 for Apollo is Madeline Weekly. Lane 4 for the Flyers is Liz Rudolph. Lane 5 for Apollo is Lauren O'Neill. Lane 6 for the Flyers is Stella Moe. Off to the early lead in this one in lane 3 for the Eagles. That is Madeline Weekly. Trying to chase her down in this backstroke is Liz Rudolph for the Flyers in lane 4. As they touch at the halfway point, it is still Weekly in the relief for the Eagles, followed by Rudolph for the Flyers. As they come in to touch here on the breaststroke, Weekly still in the lead at the Waypoint on their return trip. Rudolph in second. Third place right now up in lane 6 for the Flyers. That is Stella Moe. And in fourth place in lane 2 for the Flyers is Ellie Larson. On to the last discipline here, the freestyle. Weekly still with the commanding lead over Rudolph. Rudolph may be challenged here by her teammate Stella Moe. It looks like it's going to be a battle for second. Rudolph with about a body length lead at the moment. Moe closing quickly. Weekly's going to touch in here for the Eagles in first place. Here comes the battle for second. And it will be Rudolph in lane 3 out touching Moe up in lane 6. Excuse me, Rudolph in lane 4 out touching Moe up in lane 6. Larson out touches in fourth place for the Flyers in lane 2. Up next for the Flyers in this meet is the 50-yard freestyle junior varsity. For the Flyers in lane 2, Lily Cheerhart. Lane 4, Emily Elberton. Lane 5, Izzy Larson. And lane 6, Bella White. Swimming for Apollo in lane 3 is Shyla Gordon. Again, this is JV 50-yard freestyle. It is a down and back race. All right. The battle right now is in lanes 2 and 5. And it looks like up in lane 5 for the Flyers, that is Izzy Larson. She'll touch in first, followed by in lane 2, or excuse me, lane 2, Lily Cheerhart for the Flyers. All right, up next is the girls 50-yard freestyle for the varsity. Lane 1, Natalie Shorehearts for Apollo. Lane 2, Sabina Moe for Little Falls. Lane 3, Lucy Herringlake for Apollo. Lane 4, Barrett Gustafson for Little Falls. Lane 5, Abigail Stevens for Apollo. Lane 6, Nora Dalen for Little Falls. At the wall, at the turn, it's Barrett Gustafson for the Flyers in first place, followed being chased there by Lucy Herringlake in lane 3 for the Eagles. As they come to the finish, it will be Gustafson in lane 4, out touching Herringlake in lane 3 for the Eagles. The Flyers take 1, 3, and 5 in that race. Time of 27:57 for Barrett Gustafson in the 50 freestyle with the victory. All right, now we're going to set up for diving. Unfortunately, we were not able to bring you the audio microphone from the announcer for diving. So we'll do our best to provide you with the information. We'll turn up the microphone as loud as we can and hope that it's enough. Again, there's a warm-up period for the divers before diving commences. We'll be back with you shortly.
Judges award 3, 3, 4. Abby's first dive is a 5-2-2-1D, back one somersault, half twist, free position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 4.5, 5, 5. Claire's first dive is a 5-2-2-1D, back one somersault, half twist, free position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 2.5, 4, 4.5. Josie's first dive is a 5-2-1-1A, back dive, half twist, straight position, degree of difficulty 1.8. Five, 2, 1-1A, back dive, half twist, straight position. Degree of difficulty 1.8. Judges award 1, 2.5, 2.5. Please be quiet during the dives. Barrett's first dive is a 5-2-2-2D, back one somersault, one twist. Free position, degree of difficulty 1.8. Judges award 4.5, 5, 5. Kylie's first dive is a 5-1-2-2-D, forward one somersault, one twist, free position, degree of difficulty 1.8. Judges award 3, 4, 3. Cora's second dive is a 102C, forward one somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.4. Judges award 2.5, 3.5, 3.5. Macy's second dive is a 102C, forward one somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.4. Judges award 2, 2.5, 2.5. Abby's second dive is a 5-2-3-1D, back 1.5 somersault, half twist, free position, degree of difficulty 2.1. Judges award 5.5, 5.5, 5. Claire's second dive is a 201A back dive, straight position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 4, 4, 4.5. Josie's second dive is a 401B inward dive, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Judges award 4.5, 3.5, 4.5. Barrett's second dive is a 103B forward 1.5 somersault, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 5, 5, 5.5. Kylie's second dive is a 103B forward 1.5 somersault, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 5.5, 5.5, 6. Cora's final dive of the evening is a 401B inward dive, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Judges award 3.5, 3.5, 4. Macy's final dive of the evening is a 401C inward dive, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.4. Judges award 3, 3, 3.5. Abby's third dive is a 103B forward 1.5 somersault, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 6, 6, 6. Claire's third dive of the evening is a 202C, back 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Judges award 4.5, 4.5, 3.5. Josie's third dive is a 402C, inward 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 3.5, 3, 4.5. Barrett's third dive is a 104C, forward 2 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 2.2. Judges award 3.5, 3.5, 2.5. Kylie's third dive is a 104C, forward 2 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 2.2. Judges award 4.5, 4.5, 3.5. Abby's fourth dive is a 402C, inward 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 6, 6.5, 6.5. Claire's fourth dive is a 301A reverse dive, straight position, degree of difficulty 1.8. Judges award 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Josie's fourth dive is a 103C forward 1.5 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 3, 4, 3.5. Barrett's fourth dive is a 302C reverse 1 somersault tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 5, 5.5, 5. Kylie's fourth dive is a 301C reverse dive, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 4, 4, 4. Abby's fifth dive is a 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck position, degree of difficulty 2.2. Judges award 5, 5, 4.5. Claire's fifth dive is a 101B forward dive, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.3. Judges award 5, 4.5, 5. Josie's fifth dive is a 201A back dive, straight position, degree of difficulty 1.7. Judges award 4.5, 4.5, 4. Barrett's fifth dive is a 401C inward dive, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.4. Judges award 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Kylie's fifth dive is a 5-2-2-3D back 1 somersault, 1.5 twists, free position, degree of difficulty 2.3. Judges award 4.5, 4.5, 4. Abby's final dive of the evening is a 301C reverse dive, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Claire's final dive is a 401B inward dive, pike position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Judges award 5, 4, 5. Josie's final dive is a 302C reverse 1 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.6. Judges award 4.5, 4.5, 4. Barrett's final dive is a 201C back dive, tuck position, degree of difficulty 1.5. Judges award 5, 4.5, 4.5. Kylie's final dive of the evening is a 203C back 1.5 somersault, tuck position, degree of difficulty 2. Judges award 4.5, 5, 4.5. This concludes diving.
Why do you want to know what I'm doing on Saturday? God. Well, I couldn't play Gopher Party anymore because I realized I have a wedding. So if he says that you guys can go, I'm screwed because
he wouldn't say you could go.
But we couldn't. Have them do it.
At this time, we will have Chuck-a-Duck.
All right, we're back to swimming action. Up next is the junior varsity 50-yard butterfly. Again, this is a Little Falls only race. In lane 2 is Caitlin Barnes, and lane 4 is Skylar Okerman. And Caitlin Barnes is off to the early lead. 50 yards to be a down and back race. And it will be Caitlin Barnes touching in. And there's Skylar Okerman. All right, up next is the varsity 100-yard butterfly. So down, back, down, back. And in lane 3 for the Eagles, Madison Weekly. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Molly Petrowitz. Lane 5 for the Eagles, Cedar Scott Lumbar. Lane 6 for the Flyers, Emma Catlin. Out to the early lead for the Flyers in lane 4 is Molly Petrowitz. She's being chased there in lane 3 by Madeline Weekly. This one's tightening up. Molly with just a slight lead at the turn. Up in lane 6 for the Flyers, Emma Catlin. Currently in 3rd place. Petrowitz still with a small lead as they turn for home. But this is going to be a tight one. And Weekly has overtaken Petrowitz. We'll see what Petrowitz has here at the end. Weekly with about a 3/4 body length lead, and she'll touch in first. Petrowitz second. Catlin up in lane 6 will touch in 3rd place for the Flyers. And Scott Lumbar will touch in 4th place for the Eagles. We do not have a team score update to provide to you at this time. The scoreboard has not yet displayed any of the team scores. Here comes Cedar Scott Lumbar to touch in for the Eagles. All right, our next race is the girls 100-yard freestyle relay, junior varsity. Looks like we have a little problem with the timing equipment. There, we got it fixed. This is the JV 100-yard freestyle. Again, Little Falls only entrance in this JV race. In lane 2, Lily Grant. In lane 4, Georgia Lapos. In lane 6, Emily Overton. Georgia Lapos out to the early lead for the Flyers. Grant and Overton not too far behind. As they come down back to the home stretch, Lapos in the lead in lane 3 for the Flyers. Grant for the Flyers in lane 2. Lapos in lane 4 for the Flyers in the lead. Grant in lane 2, currently in second place. And Emily Overton for the Flyers in third place, up in lane 6. Georgia Lapos, time of 1:15:02. All right, our next event is the girls 100-yard varsity freestyle race. We'll give you the lane assignments after the start. In lane 1 at the bottom of your screen for the Eagles is Shyla Gordon. Lane 2, Stella Moe for the Flyers. Lane 3, Lucy Herringlake for the Eagles. Lane 4, Abby Nagorski for the Flyers. Lane 5, Catherine Weitzel for the Eagles. And lane 6, Cece Moe for the Flyers. As they come to touch in at the halfway point, it is in the lead for the Eagles in lane number 3, Lucy Herringlake, being chased there very closely by Abby Nagorski. Nagorski also being challenged in lane 5 by Catherine Weitzel for the Eagles. But it looks like as they come to the finish here, it's still Herringlake for the Eagles in lane 3 in the lead. Nagorski holding on to second currently in lane 4 for the Flyers. They're getting pressured in lane 5 there. And it will be a 1-2 finish for the Eagles as Catherine Weitzel out-touches Abby Nagorski at the touchpad at the wall to take second place. A time of 1:03:56 for Herringlake in the 100-yard freestyle. All right, now for one of the longest races of the night, the 500-yard freestyle. This is a JV race. So, lane assignments for this race. In lane 2 is Ellie Larson for Little Falls. Lane 3, Natalie Schwartz for Apollo. Lane 4, Maya St. George for Little Falls. Lane 5, Cora Schmidt for Apollo. Lane 6, Elizabeth Rudolph for Little Falls. And coming in to touch after their first lap. It is a very tight three-way race, but touching in lane 6 is Rudolph in first place, followed by Maya St. George and Ellie Larson. All three for the Flyers. The 500, of course, is a 20-length race of the pool. You'll notice that at the far end there are girls assigned with a board that helps the swimmers keep track of which lap and length that they are on. Each team has a little bit of a different scheme as to how they show the numbers. whether they want a girl to speed up, slow down, or really kick it into gear, or if they're holding their own well. Right now, still Liz Rudolph out in front for the Flyers up in lane 6, followed by Maya St. George and Ellie Larson in lane 2. The Flyers swimmers about to complete their 6th length of the pool. As they come to touch in on the 8th length, it's still Elizabeth Rudolph up in lane 6 in first place, Maya St. George in lane 4 for the Flyers in second place, and Ellie Larson in lane 2, currently in third place for the Flyers. Liz Rudolph in lane 6 is about to lap the two Eagle swimmers. And there she's overtaken them. Still Rudolph, St. George, and Larson, 1, 2, and 3 for the Flyers. As they come to touch in at the end of length number 12, Rudolph swam that lap in a time of 41.90. Her overall time right now is at 4:03.60. Rudolph still in first, followed by St. George, and then Larson for the Flyers. You notice that this is a freestyle race, which means you can use any stroke you want. One of the Apollo swimmers reverting to the backstroke for a while. Still Liz Rudolph out front, followed by St. George and Larson for the Flyers. A 1-2-3 finish for them right now. They are coming to complete length number 17. That will mean when they touch at the wall this time, it'll be a lap and a half to go. The overall race time right now is 5:56. Rudolph hoping to come in below 7 minutes. She should have a good shot at that. She touched in on that last lap with an overall time of 6:10.70, swimming about 42 second laps. She should be able to finish in under 7 minutes. Still swimming strong. Here comes Rudolph to touch along with St. George. They will finish up. Final lap for Rudolph up in lane 1, 40. And lane 2 for Maya St. George, a 39.06. And for Larson in lane 2, a 41.70. So Rudolph finishes in 6:51.10, St. George in 6:54.41, and Larson in 7:04.05. The two Eagle swimmers here still have a couple more lengths to go. About 3.5 lengths to be exact. Lots of great sportsmanship here from both sides as they cheer on the Apollo swimmers. This is the final length for the two Apollo swimmers. This is a race of endurance. There's no doubt about that. 500 yards, a long way. All right, up next will be the varsity 500-yard freestyle. All right, for the varsity 500-yard freestyle, in lane number 2 for the Flyers, Grace Kloop. Lane 3 for the Eagles, Taylor Nadel. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Molly Petrowitz. Lane 5 for the Eagles, Susanna Malminger. Lane 6 for the Flyers, Nora Dalen. And then the varsity 500 here, out to the early lead for the Eagles is Taylor Nadel. Nadel is followed there by lane 2 for the Flyers, Grace Kloop. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Molly Petrowitz. Nadel out to about a third of the length of the pool lead at the moment. The Flyers currently swimming 2, 3, and 4. Nadel still leading. Built up about a 2/3 of the pool length lead now. Clute and Petrowitz deciding to go for a swim together here this evening, running neck and neck. Nadel now with the full length of the pool lead over Clute and Petrowitz. Petrowitz has taken about a body length lead over Clute for the Flyers in second and third place. And Nora Dalen up in lane 6, currently swimming in fourth place. Nadel and Petrowitz and Clute exchange pleasantries there at about halfway point down the pool. When Nadel touches at the wall here, that'll be her completion of her 7th lap, 3 full laps to go. She'll touch in on that lap. Time of 39:01 for the lap. Overall time coming up shortly. 4:17:40 at the end of the 7th lap there for Nadel. Petrowitz now has about a third of the pool length lead over Clute. Maybe not quite. As they battle it out for second place. Nora Dalen still in fourth place there for the Flyers up in lane 6. And lane 5 for the Eagles. That is Susanna Malminger. Bell lap here, being the final lap, being given to Nadel. She heads out. Both Petrowitz and Clute been given the it's time to go sign here. Nadel about to lap Clute. Nadel's going to wrap up her race here. She'll touch in at 36:33 on that last lap. Overall time 6:10:06. If you're looking at the scoreboard, it's obviously not quite right. Up in lane 6, Nora Dalen did not finish in first place. Molly Petrowitz touches in second place for the Flyers, followed by Grace Clute in lane 2 in third place. Nora Dalen touches in for the Flyers on lane 6 in 4th place. And here comes the final Apollo swimmer. All right. Next up, the girls' 200-yard freestyle relay junior varsity. Each swimmer does 1 lap down and back in this relay. Is the JV relay. Excuse me. Yep, 200-yard freestyle JV relay. Entrances again only for Little Falls. In lane 2, that is Cora Kleiber. In lane 4, Caitlin Barnes. So the order is swimming for the Flyers in lane 2, Cora Kluber. Then she'll be followed by Abby Horton, Marley Schill, and Skylar Okerman. In lane 4 for the Flyers, Caitlin Barnes, Lily Grant, Lily Cheerhart, and Katie Rudolph. Traditionally for the Flyers, the 200 freestyle and the 400 freestyle have been some strong relays. And we'll see how they can manage tonight against the Eagles in the upcoming varsity race. Entering into the pool in lane 4 for the Flyers. That is Skylar Okerman. Or excuse me, that was Katie Rudolph in lane 2 for the Flyers. Skylar Okerman. Okerman touches in there for the Flyers. And momentarily we'll start the varsity 200 freestyle relay. All right. We're about ready for the start here. In lane 2 for the Flyers, leading off will be Emma Catlin. Lane 3 for Apollo, Madeline Weekly. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Sabina Moe. Lane 5 for Apollo, Brooklyn Ryerson. Lane 6 for the Flyers, Georgia Lapos. And they're off into the early lead for the Eagles in lane 3. That is Madison Weekly. Again, this is a down and back, one race per swimmer. Weekly in first place for the Eagles there in lane 3, followed very closely lane 4 by Sabina Moe. On the exchange now, into the pool for Apollo is Lucy Herringlake in lane 3. For the Flyers, Abby Nagorski in lane 4. For the Flyers up in lane 5. For the Eagles up in lane 5, that is Abigail Stevens. Into the pool now for Apollo is Catherine Weitzel. For the Flyers, Stella Moe in lane 4. In lane 2 for the Flyers into the pool was Ellie Larson. In lane 5 for the Eagles, Lauren O'Neill. It's about a body length lead there for Catherine Weitzel in lane 3 as she turns things over to Taylor Nadel. Nadel swimming against Barrett Gustafson for the Flyers. Gustafson can really go. And she is closing on Nadel. Nadel, of course, coming off that 500 free. But does she have enough to hold off Gustafson? Yes, she does. The Eagles take first. Flyers take second. Eagles will touch in third place in lane 5. Flyers will take fourth place in lane 2. And the Flyers will take fifth place up in lane 6 momentarily. All right, our next event will be the junior varsity girls 100-yard backstroke. Again, Little Falls only entries for this JV race. In lane 2, Katie Rudolph. Lane 4, Abby Horton. Lane 6, Bella White. Again, girls junior varsity 100-yard backstroke. Katie Rudolph, lane 2 for the Flyers. Abby Horton for lane 4 for the Flyers. Bella White, lane 6 for the Flyers. A down back and down and back. Out to the early lead for the Flyers there in lane number 2. That's Katie Rudolph. In lane 4, Abby Horton. In lane 6, Bella White. Katie Rudolph there touches in first place for the Flyers. Here comes Abby Horton. Up next, we have the girls varsity 100-yard backstroke. Up first We're up for the Flyers in the 100-yard backstroke, and lane 2 is going to be Alicia Holtz. Lane 4, Claire Anderson. Lane 6, Izzy Larson. In the varsity race for the Eagles, lane 1, Susanna Malminger. Lane 3, Catherine Weitzel. Lane 5, Brooklyn Ryerson. All right, we're ready for the start of the varsity 100-yard backstroke. All right, we've got a battle in lanes 3 and 4 for the Eagles. In lane 3, that is Catherine Weitzel. For the Flyers in lane 4, Claire Anderson. From our vantage point, it currently looks like Anderson has the very short lead. And as they come to touch at the wall, it will be Anderson touching first, followed by Weitzel for the Eagles. Currently in third place for the Eagles up in lane 5, that's Brooklyn Ryerson. Fourth place right now is being held in lane 6 by Izzy Larson. As they come to the finish, it still appears from our vantage point that Claire Anderson has the slight lead over Weitzel. It's going to be a tight one. Who will touch first? And it is Anderson in lane 4 for the Flyers, touching in first in a time of, the second lap time of 38:42. There's no doubt that she is being closed on. Anderson wins it with a time of 1:14:39, followed closely there by Weitzel with a time of 1:14:69. All right, girls 100-yard breaststroke, JV race. Little Falls swimmers only again. Lane 2, Macy Berggren. Lane 4, Caitlin Barnes. Lane 6, Marley Schill. Out front to start this JV race in lane 4 for the Flyers, Caitlin Barnes. In second place in lane 2 is Macy Berggren. In third place up in lane 6, Marley Schill. Barnes comes off the wall after the first lap with about a 2.5 body length lead over Berggren and Schill. She heads down to the wall for her final touch in this race. She'll head for home with a commanding lead. Again, that's Barnes in lane 4 for the Flyers, Berggren in lane 2, and Schill in lane 6. All right, next up, the varsity 100-yard breaststroke. All right, in lane one for the Eagles is Josie Double-Medic. In lane 2 for the Flyers, CC Moe. In lane 3 for the Eagles, Lauren O'Neill. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Sabina Moe. Lane 5 for the Eagles, Cedar Scott Lumbar. Lane 6 for the Flyers, Cora Kleiber. And it'll be Sabina Moe for the Flyers out to the early lead in lane 4. It is currently a battle for second between the Eagles' Lauren O'Neill and the Flyers' Cece Moe. Cece Moe touching in second place for the Flyers in lane 2, just ahead of the Eagles' Lauren O'Neill. However, this looks to be Sabina Moe's race. She is out front with about a quarter of a length of the pool lead. She will be able to cruise home to victory. The battle right now is for second place between the Flyers' Sabina Moe, Cece Moe, excuse me. Sabina Moe just won the race. The battle between Cece Moe for the Flyers and Lauren O'Neill for the Eagles. This one's too close to call at the moment. We'll wait to see the results on the wall. And it will be in lane 3, Lauren O'Neill for the Eagles touching in second place, just out touching the Flyers' Cece Moe. Fourth place went to Josie Double-Medic in lane 1. Fifth place up in lane 6 to the Flyers, Cora Kleiber. And coming into touch now for the Flyers, or excuse me, for the Eagles, is Cedar Scott Lumbar in lane number 5. All right. Our second to the last race of the evening is the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay junior varsity. Three relay teams in this one. 2 for the Flyers, 1 for the Eagles. In lane In lane 2 for the Flyers will be Emily Oberton, Marley Schill, Macy Berggren, and Bella White. In lane 3 for the Eagles, Shyla Gordon, Cora Schmidt, Natalie Schwartz, and Cedar Scott Lumbar. In lane 4 for the Flyers, Izzy Larson, Abby Horton, Lily Cheerhart, and Lily Grant. For the Flyers in lane 4, out to the early lead, is Izzy Larson. She's followed by, in lane 2, Emily Oberton for the Flyers. Larson will come into touch at her first 50. Head back out for her final lap. Izzy Larson for the Flyers in lane 4. She'll hand things over to Abby Horton. For the Flyers down in lane 2, Emily Overton will be turning things over to Marley Schill. Overton coming into touch here. All right. Abby Horton about to complete her first lap. And still the Flyers in the lead in lane number 4. Abby Horton out front. Marley Schill for the Flyers in lane 2, followed by Cora Schmidt for the Eagles in lane 3. Horton will come in now and she'll hand things over in lane 4 to Lily Cheerhart. Cheerhart into the pool for the Flyers. Coming in lane 2 to touch up is Marley Schill. She'll hand things over to Macy Berggren. Coming for the Eagles in lane 3 right now, it's Natalie Schwartz. Coming in to touch for the Flyers in lane 4, Lily Cheerhart. She'll hand things off to Lily Grant. Grant into the pool now for the Flyers in lane 2. Macy Berggren will be handing things off to Bella White. White into the pool for the Flyers here. Going into the pool for the Eagles in lane number 3 is Cedar Scott Lumbar. In the lane number 4 for the Flyers, Lily Grant. She will come in and touch at first place. White and Scott Lumbar for the Eagles, both having to go to, complete another lap. Grant touched in at 4:41.62 with her relay team to take first place. Cedar Scott Lumbar now with a lead over Bella White. Scott Lumbar will touch in second place in this JV race for the Eagles. followed by Bella White in third. And finally, we've come to the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay, our final event of the evening. Five relay entrances in this race, 3 for the Flyers, 2 for the Eagles. We'll give you the lineups right after the start. In lane 2 for the Flyers is CC Moe. Lane 3 for the Apollo is Lucy Herringlake. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Abby Nagorski. Lane 5 for Apollo, Brooklyn Ryerson. Lane 6 for the Flyers, Katie Rudolph. For the Flyers in lane 2, it'll be CC Moe, Emma Catlin, Grace Clute, and Maya St. George. Lane 3 for Apollo, it'll be Lucy Herringlake, Catherine Weitzel, Taylor Nadel, and Madeline Weekly. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Abby Nagorski, Claire Anderson, Elizabeth Rudolph, and Molly Petrowitz. Lane 5 for the Eagles, Brooklyn Ryerson, Abigail Stevens, Lauren O'Neill, and Susanna Malmager. Lane 6 for the Flyers, Katie Rudolph, Georgia Lapos, Alicia Holtz, and Nora Dalen. As we come to the end of the first 100, it is Apollo in places 1 and 2. Lanes both 3 and 5, followed by the Flyers in lane 4. Into the pool for Apollo in lane 3 right now is Catherine Weitzel. Lane 5 is Abby Stevens. For the Flyers in lane 2 is Emma Catlin. In lane 4, Claire Anderson. In lane 6, Georgia Lapos. Again, this is 100-yard race for each swimmer. Up in lane 5 for the Eagles, that's Abigail Stevens. She's built herself a fairly good lead over her teammate, Catherine Weitzel. With the Flyers, it's Claire Anderson in lane number 3 in third place currently. As they come into touch, Stevens will turn things over to Lauren O'Neill up in lane 5. In lane 3, it'll be Weitzel handing things off to Taylor Nadel. And then for the Flyers in lane 4, Claire Anderson will turn things over to Elizabeth Rudolph. Anderson did a good job of closing on the Eagles in her length there. It is still the Flyers, or the Eagles' Lauren O'Neill out in lane 5 in first place. We have a tight battle for second right now, as the Flyers have definitely closed the gap. That's Elizabeth Rudolph in lane 4 for the Flyers, doing her best to catch Lauren O'Neill touch Taylor Nadel for the Eagles. And both of them have now closed significantly on Lauren O'Neill up in lane 5. We have got a really tight race right now. For first place, it's a three-way race. Right now, the lead goes in lane 3 to the Eagles, followed by the Flyers in second, in lane 4, and the Eagles in third place up in lane 5. In lane 3 for the Eagles, that's Madeline Weekly. Lane 4 for the Flyers, Molly Petrowitz. Lane 5 for the Eagles, Susanna Malminger. And as they turn, it is Petrowitz with the lead for the Flyers in lane 4. She's worked herself out to a two body length lead over the nearest Eagle. Petrowitz for the Flyers in lane 4. In lane 5, that's Malminger for the Eagles. And in lane 3, That's Madeline Weekly for the Eagles. Flyers have done a good job coming back, being patient, allowing their strength to take over here in these final couple of lengths. Petrowitz will come in and touch in first place for the Flyers in lane 4. Her final lap time, 33:72. An overall time for the Flyers, Flyers, 4:20.74. The Eagles will touch in second and third place. The Flyers will take fourth place in lane 2. That is Maya St. George who touched in there. And the Flyers will take the fifth place up in lane 6 with Nora Dalen swimming the final length for the Flyers. We'll try to see if we can get you a team score here. Just a second. Final score, Little Falls 98, Eagles 87. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and we hope to see you on our next Flyer broadcast. Again, I'd like to thank our broadcast sponsor, Fab. And for Caden Blaisdell on the camera, I'm Mark Deal saying thank you for joining us.
The Flyer Athletic Boosters is a nonprofit organization of parents, faculty, and community members that are dedicated to supporting quality youth athletic programs. Since 2004, FAB has proudly donated more than $500,000 to various youth and varsity programs. Help us to ensure the continued success of Little Falls youth and varsity athletic programs. Become a FAB member today. For more information, go to our website, flyerathleticboosters.com. Go Flyers!